Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. I'm trying to fix this to maintain like good quality video with good lighting. And today I have like really sort of like a topic that I need you guys to listen to it simply because I feel like most of you go through it. It's the fact that we say, "Oh my God, I'm such too much," or it's like I have too much going on and people like can't relate to me. Honey, this is not your problem. That's one. It's not a problem to be too much. And stop apologizing for being too much. Stop telling yourself that being too much is sort of like a problem. It's never a problem. It's actually a good thing to be too much and to know that you're too much. If you are with group of friends, group of people where they constantly tell you like, "Oh my God, you're such too much of this, too much of that." Learn how to accept yourself as it is. Learn how to be like, "You know what? Yes, I'm too much for you. I'm too much for you." So it's not I don't think that it's a me problem. It's a you problem, right? So, and then most of the time people that think or would have the audacity to tell another human being that you're too much are people that are actually too less, and they just want to do less, and there is nothing bad about that, or it's not a problem that people would want to have less things going on. I'm not expecting all of us in this world to be like ambitious or to be like running all the time after our goals or dreams or whatever. Like, not all of us are operating from the same system, but for those who are always receiving this as a bad comment of like, "Oh my God, you're so much," yes, learn how to earn that. Okay, I'm too much. I'm so much. There are like a lot of things going on in my life. So much is going. So what? Like, learn how to accept it as it is. Learn how to be like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead with whatever is going, and I'll accept myself as it is." Because the truth is, once you know like, okay, I'm too much when it comes up to that, and I completely understand what I like, what I require is something that I can provide. So if I'm with a group of people that what I'm requiring is so much or too much or whatever is much to them, it's time for me, or it's a sign for me to change the people. And I don't want to talk about friends or how to change people or when do you think you need to change people. I'm just focusing on the fact that all the time we hear this comment from like a lot of people in our lives of, when people are saying like, "You're just too much of this, too much of that," just, if you're an empath, you would just be like, "Oh my God, I am such a too much thing," and you will start thinking of it as a bad thing, while it's really a good thing. You're too much because you worked so hard on yourself, you resolved some trauma, you figured out things, so you build too much things within you. And that's why people that are having like less than that, they be just, on a different side of this. They can't relate to what you're saying, or no matter how much you're explaining to them. But don't you ever show them that this is this is your problem, or this is whatever. Just be there, observe. It's if what you're seeing is not something that you would want to associate yourself with, just walk away from their life. The fact that you start like just thinking from, because I know like a lot of people that would think of it as a bad thing, and then once you just tell them like, "You know what, it's not your problem, it's the people that are telling you you're too much," this is their problem, because they see themselves as a reflection, and they can't find, or they find too much going on that they don't have, or they don't want to have. Like, let's just give them also the freedom of like, they don't want to have what is going on there. So just learn in this word to sort of like just be kind to yourself, and don't you ever consider this as a bad thing. It's the opposite. It's actually a beautiful thing that you can rely on, in terms of like protecting your energy, protecting your peace, understanding exactly what you're requiring out of friendships, out of this, out of that, that would really literally make your life much easier than you think. Like once you just shift the mindset of like, okay, I'm too much and it's time for me to walk away. Or it's like, okay, they're telling you like you're too much, all right? They are seeing too much, so I need to withdraw. And you know when they say like different people have like different versions of us, this is the reason. This is the number one reason why people would see you like, okay, oh my God, you know, like you probably would act with them less because you match that energy. And then you would be like with some group of people where you're like just shining and you're like the fool too much of yourself. They'd be like, oh my God, I completely didn't recognize you, you know? So it's like that's why different people would have like different versions of us, simply because once we know that we're just too much for people, we start withdrawing. And we give them less until we match their energy. And then, but what is happening, it's not that we're taking it from ourselves, it's just the fact that we're seeing what is too much for them and we're withdrawing what is our, you know, because the fact that you're too much or someone would consider consider you as too much is when you give them too much informations or too much access or too much, because to you it's a normal thing and you kind of like you're just reflecting on when you're doing this as friends, blah blah blah, whatever. But once you see like, okay, they're just not understanding what is the too much meaning, you just start withdrawing, removing this, removing that, removing this, until you just keep reflecting on them as a mirror. So yeah, don't you ever think that you're too much. Whoever is telling you you're too much, they're less, definitely less. And the fact that you're here sitting watching this video, it means that you're feeling like guilty about it. So I'm your sign today to tell you, you are not too much. They are too less. You cannot manage to be too less, or like they would reverse it into you're not enough probably, or you're too much, you're too less. Like just accept who you are, and whatever people tell you this, it's their problem, it's a you problem, not me. I'm not seeing me or I in this sentence. It's their problem, right? So learn to withdraw, learn to think of it as it's not that I am too much, it's just that they have a less interest in what I'm doing or what I'm up to or whatever I'm sharing with them, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you on today's video, and see you guys soon. Bye bye.